Hi everyone. So today we are going to talk about the optional for the null safety. So why use optional? So the optional which avoids the classic null pointer exception by explicitly handling the potential nulls and also forces the explicit thinking about the presence or absence of a value and also like make code more readable and expressive and safe. And when we need to use this optional, so for method return types that might be a null and to replace the null checks with elegant functional handling and also to clearly communicate the possibility of the absent values and how it helps in the automation testing. So it safely retries the optional test configuration and data or UI elements and also it prevents the test crashes due to the unexpected null values and also like encourages the explicit handling of missing elements or the data. So if we consider the code example like wrapping the nullable return values in the optional, so which I'm going to demonstrate optional creation and safe value access and defaults and the transformation. So optional provides the if present method to execute the code only if value exists and or else to provide default values map to transform the values conditionally. So help avoid both null checks and null pointer exceptions. In the visual diagram, so the optional methods overview like optional like we have the creation, accessors, transformation and others. So in the creation we have the off value, non-null value and off nullable value, empty, and in the accessors we have the get, is present consumer or else, and transformation, map function and others or else get supplier. So if you consider the flowchart using the optional to avoid the nulls, so we are going to start the code with the initial code and obtain the optional tag from the method and is value present, no, use default or handle empty case. If value is present, yes, then process the variable using the if present, map or get, and finally we are going to end the program. So now we go with the basic code we are going to import the Java libraries java.util.optional. So in the code we are having the class name like optional example and in the main method which demonstrating the optional to handle the nullable values safely, and we are going to have the main method. In the main method we are going to write down the optional string present value equals to get value true and optional string absent value should get value false. So executing code only if value is present. So the present value dot is present value like function system dot out the println value is present, so it will print the value output, and absent value dot is present value function system dot out dot println this won't print, so which provides the default value if optional is empty. We are going to print out in the output like system dot out dot println value or default absent value dot or else default value, and transform value if present and otherwise return the alternative. So we are storing the value in the variable upper and which is a type of string. String upper equals to present value dot map string to uppercase or dot or else no value, and system dot out dot println the dot plus upper. So returning an optional based on the input flag. If the flag is true, it will return an optional containing a value, or otherwise returns an empty optional. So why we need to use optional means we are going to avoid the null pointer exception by explicitly null handling, and for methods that might not return a value, and it is helpful for the automation testing like safely retrieve the optional elements or data and avoid the test crashes due to nulls. And if the parameter flag like boolean indicates the presence of value, and it will return optional containing a string if your flag is true or else empty optional. So in the public static method we are going to have the optional string get value on boolean if we are going to if else statement if flag returns the boolean optional dot of text value, or else return the optional dot empty value. So then we are going to run this code. So we will see the output. it will checking for the null pointer exception. I'm going to handle it. So the value is present is the test value, and the value of default value, and transformed value is equal to test value. So it will print it as per the expected output. So you can see here value of default, it will print the default value, and here transformed value, and next transform value, like what are the upper is data value, no value. So default value and transformed value equals to test value.